What's going on, guys? So right now I'm in my garage. As you can see, I have a bunch of stuff to go through over here, which we'll get to in a minute. Thanks for tuning in for another video. Right now I have Duramax Dad from Instagram here at my house, and his name's Paul. But essentially he came down here, we made a couple trades. He has my old Danville drop-in 63mm turbo, and we made a couple trades and made that, work something out on that end. And he also delivered a box for me because it was on his way down. He stopped at the guy's house, picked it up, and brought it to me. So that was, I knocked two birds out with one stone. So I'll go over everything I have here, as well as a box here in a little bit. Right now we're going to take his truck out and see how it rips.
I'm fucking licensed to fucking kill love bugs. That's why I drive a white truck. Fuck them.
You heard it from the man himself. So we're gonna take this LML out for a rip, see how she drives. Like I said, there is gonna be a 63mm drop-in and bigger CP3 that gets put in this. So I'll kind of do before and after and see how she drives. Let's see how she rips. So this is a 2011 LML, right?
Yeah, 2011, all stock.
Just deleted?
Intake, deleted. Basically it. And a lift pump.
So we just ran over my hat in the road, forgot it was on the bed of my truck, so that thing's shot. So she rides out. It's been a while since I've been in just a deleted LML, and she definitely rides out.
Let's see if I can spin more than one gear.
Sounds super loud. This truck has a axle dump exhaust. These people riding horses. So axle dump is way louder than my truck, as well as the single turbo alone is way louder than the compound setup.
Feel as fast now since I put it in the switch on the fly tune setup though. I am in tune 5 right now.
You're in tune 5?
Yeah. So based on what it says, it's supposed to be their max effort 200 horsepower tune. But if I upload just the single tune itself, it seems like it pulls like 3 times harder. This doesn't seem as powerful with the switch on the fly.
That's awesome. So this truck should get another, roughly another 150 horse minimum once he puts the drop-in turbo in and the CP3, and injectors will handle it. Don't know about the trans. I mean, mine held it for a while when I had my drop-in turbo, 68 mil. So just depends how hard you drive it, but.
Well, you can tell we're driving hard because I can smell it.
My truck always smelled like this too when it was stock turbo.
Yeah.
So this is a custom plate you had made, right?
Yeah.
And that's your rock light switch?
Yep. So normally there's like a little cubby here that has another flip-up cover on it. I cut it out and had this made by my buddy Diego over at Resurrected Fab. Had him cut his logo into it, and then I wrapped it over.
Just super clean. It's like a black steel wrap, something like that.
Okay, now we're getting oil pressure. Battery voltage is all reading now. So, what's the stock turbo push? What, 30 pounds?
A boost?
Yeah.
On back zipper tune, I've seen like 35, 38.
That ain't hit 30.
Didn't even hit 30? But maybe when the converter locks up.
Maybe. Because the seat, it does.
And you have, you have different tuning than I had, so.
Yeah.
gonna be so, I think the drop-in turbo makes the truck even louder, especially with your dumped exhaust.
Yeah, especially once I upgrade to it, if I can upgrade to a 5-inch. That's the only difference between the 5-inch to me and the 4-inch that I noticed on my LBZ.
That's how loud.
Was with the 4-inch, the turbo spool itself was a lot louder. You know, you had that nice jet sound with the 4-inch, whereas when I got the 5-inch, it was more motor sound. It was a lot deeper, a lot more throaty. It sounded a lot meaner, and it was overall louder, period.
So just so you guys know too, as I mentioned, his name's Paul. You can find him. I'll put his handle, IG handle on the screen right here, Duramax Dad. And we've talked a couple times on Instagram, and you know, I think I don't know who reached out to who first, but I know that Paul used to have a truck that my buddy actually had built, which if you guys look on his Instagram page, you'll see was like a gray stone metallic crew cab, like 06 Duramax, which he then sold to a girl now that's trashing it, and now he has his 2011 LML, which is clean as hell.
Which she paid $22,000 for, and she wants $45,000 for it. It's got 300,000 miles on it.
Yep.
You can't fix stupid.
So right now it has all the piping kit. All the piping kits. It just doesn't have a Y bridge.
It doesn't have a Y bridge, and it doesn't have an intake elbow.
Yes, yes, that's true.
So it has the intake, hot and cold side pipes, fully deleted, air dog. Not exactly sure what size. If I'm not mistaken, it's 100 LPH. PCV reroute, obviously. Boost resonator block off.
That's your up pipes and manifolds, right?
Yeah, I don't know that it has manifolds, but it does have the up pipes, so that it's fully deleted, not just block offs.
Yeah, the EGR is completely gone, so that whole valley there, right here, is completely empty. That's where all your EGR stuff sits. So once he gets a nice Y bridge in here, it'll look a lot smoother of a transition. But
other than that, performance-wise, that's really it. Fast fuel filter elite, which has nothing to do with horsepower.
so does this feel quicker than your 18-inch lifted LBZ?
No. This is 100 times slower.
It's crazy too because the LBZ when I rode in it when it was just level, that thing hauled ass.
Oh,
so
it's
I thought it was a factory freak, to be honest.
It really was. Even on the 18-inch lifting on 40s, like I was saying, I had beat a stock height LML that was deleted and tuned, and I walked him. That truck, for some reason, was just
worked.
outrageously fast for no damn reason.
It just worked. Well, this thing will be running a lot better once we get our new little whirly boy in there.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to them bolts I gotta get to.
That's the worst part. That is the worst part about diesels, working on it. Under the hood at least. So there are a bunch of rock lights on this thing too. He has them in the wheel well, underneath the truck, on the frame rail.
Probably still too bright out to see them.
Yeah, you probably can't really see them right now, but you can kind of see them.
There's 2 in each wheel well, 2 on the rear axle, 2 on the front, 2 on the frame rail. 16 total.
I really like how you have them placed up so high.
I don't like being able to see the lights. Yeah, so what's nice about the rears, basically on all the trucks, is that it's all hollow within the wheel well. So these ones are really easy to hide. Now on the fronts, you can see them from the outside of the truck. Reason being is the aluminum wheel well that basically separates the truck from the engine bay itself. You can self-tap through it and run your wire through it, which is what I did in the LBZ. I didn't want to do that in this. I wanted to be able to just undo one plug and unplugs both the lights and be able to pull the fender liner so that if I ever needed to work on it, get to anything behind it, all I had to do was drop the fender liner and I could pull the lights with it and reinstall it. And that metal liner literally goes basically to about right here. So that's why these are where they are, so that I didn't have to screw into that and have to deal with that every time I needed to take this wheel liner out. I also rub like crazy, so once I get a lift on here and don't rub anymore, I plan to replace the fender well, which I knew that to begin with. So I wanted to make my life 100 times easier.
Any GM you guys see around a setup like this, 14 wides, that's not
Level.
lifted, I mean, with no lift kit, they're rubbing somewhere. So I get a lot of people that ask me, you know, how do you run this? How do I run the setup I do? Even when I had this same setup, how do you run it? How do you not rub? We all rub. So there's really no way around it. It's just, you know, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't thugging. So.
Damn right.
Yeah, this truck's clean though. Of course, there's a bunch of love bugs on it because he drove down 3 hours down south on country roads. So full of love bugs. But that thing looks clean as hell.